This is News 6 Tonight.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to News 6 Tonight. It turns out you guys sometimes wait for us to show up, and we love that. Tina.
Tina's already ready for us.
We appreciate you. It has been such a crazy
Good
day.
Lord.
I asked earlier before we sat down, is it still today? Because there has been so much breaking news and stories we've been covering and following all day long. And, you know, we're used to covering a bunch of stuff happening, but today it was nonstop. I'm Ginger Gadsden.
Yeah, it was one thing after another, a lot of stuff going on in a lot of different communities. My name's Matt Austin. One of the big stories we had today is a story that we covered on this show before, but we got the details. And I remember when we covered this before, we were both saying, what are the details?
What's happening?
Here? What is going on? There was
a note, a knife, and girls.
A note, a knife, and a backpack, and 2 girls arrested, not boys, at a high school. So this happened at Lake Brantley High School. And we got the names and pictures, mugshots of these girls. Now, a lot of times when they're younger, we don't air their names and mugshots. But since we're on this show where we just kind of tell you what we think about.
The charges were serious.
Very serious charges. So we end up showing them to you if you're charged with attempted murder. So let's show them to you. All right, we've got Isabel Valdez and Lois Lippert. Oh, this is a package? Okay, so we'll show them to you in the package in a moment. And these 2 girls had a very strange, shocking revelations today that we found in the report. According to investigators, along with that knife and note in their backpacks, they had a plan to stab a student. And this all came from this odd obsession with a Sandy Hook shooter, which I'm surprised.
The kid looked like that.
Yeah, they say the kid one of them was planning to stab in a bathroom, looked like the Sandy Hook shooter.
Adam Lanza.
Somehow she was planning to stab this person and bring him back to life. I don't even
Reunite
really
with him. It doesn't make any sense because it's just
our community correspondent, Catherine Silver, is going to break it down better than I just did.
Authorities say Isabel Valdez planned to stab and kill another student at Lake Brantley High School, and Lois Lippert knew about the plot and tried to help carry it out. Court documents obtained by News 6 show the planned attack was months in the making before it was stopped by law enforcement in January. Valdez writes about the items brought to school, including the knife, Clorox, trash bag, and towel, and the plan to stab a boy in the bathroom. According to the documents, Valdez said he looked like the shooter from Sandy Hook, who Valdez had been fascinated with. And there were voices saying if Valdez killed the boy, it could bring the Sandy Hook shooter back to life.
Is there a statement you'd like to make on your client's behalf?
Not at this time, thank you.
An attorney representing Valdez declined to comment on the case after a short hearing Wednesday. Lippert's lawyer appeared remotely.
I'm going to get her out and have her see some mental health professionals.
Lippert's written statement says Valdez had been taking pictures of the boy and watching him. She knew about the knife and was told to bring gloves and get to school early. On January 23rd, detectives say they both met at Lake Brantley, looked over the items, and even tried to sharpen the knife before they were caught and questioned. Both are now being held at the jail without bond.
So I just think of what it would be like if you were the parents of this boy. These girls had spent months planning, had taken pictures of this kid, knowing where he was,
serious harm to
when
him.
he was going to be there.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure how investigators ended up getting tipped off by this, but it seems like from the report that they were pretty close to putting this plan into action.
This could have been a very and much different story had these girls gotten away or carried out that plan. I know you think about the parents of the boy they were targeting. I think about the parents of these 2 girls and wondering what's going on there? Like, what is it that caused these girls to think this way? Why would one of them admire or want to,
be
call
obsessed.
out with the Sandy Hook shooter? I feel like they aren't even old enough to be familiar with that story.
Sandy Hook was 13 years ago?
2012. In 2012.
13 years ago. How does this kid, with internet culture the way it is, how did they get obsessed with something that happened when they were maybe 3 years old?
The sad part is that there have been so many school shootings since then, and you wonder why this is the one that got their attention.
And that was the one with the youngest children.
Yeah, 26 people were killed. 20 of
incredibly
them were
disturbing.
kids.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, moving on. There is more fallout from a News 6 investigation. We love our investigators. Our Lewis Bolden has been on top of a story for more than a year now, where he found this person who said, hey, I paid an insurance company. I paid a roofer for a brand new roof. My insurance check was cashed. I did not get a roof. All right, so that's story number one. Then someone else later on comes forward and say, hey, the same thing happened to me, and it's that same company. I didn't get a roof. I paid for it. Fast forward to another couple. They say, hey, we got a roof. But now there's a lien
Against our house.
against our house because this roofer didn't pay the people they were supposed to pay. So now they owe $7,000 on this lien on their home. So Lewis Bolden picks up the story from there.
Norman Cook does not have a high opinion of hurricane roofers after he says the company replaced his roof but then failed to pay their suppliers. Now those suppliers have placed a construction lien on his property for $7,600 for unpaid roofing materials. After a hailstorm hit their community, the Cooks got an $18,000 payout from their insurance company. And did you all pay them in full?
In installments, yes. We paid them in full.
The total cost of the job was $22,500, but they got $4,000 in credits for other issues, leaving a balance of $18,500. They made a $10,500 payment, paid $5,000 in September of 25, and a final $3,000 payment. News 6 went to Hurricane Roofer's office on Lake Underhill in Orlando, but got no answer. The office phone is now disconnected. The owner is Tim Fickus. When you dial a cell phone number, this is what you get.
The mailbox is full and cannot accept any messages at this time.
Coleman's wife filed a complaint with the Better Business Bureau, and she wasn't alone. The Bureau gave the company an F rating for failure to respond to 5 complaints, issued an alert for misusing the BBB logo, and falsely stating BBB accreditation.
I mean, it's just got to end at some point. And people are smart enough to know, okay, I have a problem. Let me call Lewis and he can help me figure it out. And backing up to that first guy who got no roof, but his insurance check was cashed, the people in the community, somebody came forward and he now has a roof, but it was because of the good citizens of our town.
That's fantastic.
That did that.
You know,
So
it's
I love
interesting
that.
because this is one of the stories we struggle with. How much?
How
do
many?
You
How
know,
many do
I
you
mean,
tell?
obviously there are some issues with this business. There
Yeah.
have been plenty of complaints against them.
Where does it end?
More people keep coming out of the
Are we
woodworks.
just piling on now?
Do-
No.
Yeah. Do we? I mean, it feels like at this point it's just crazier and crazier cases. So,
But it keeps
We'll
happening.
probably close the door on it, but definitely if people
We'll leave it open
if people
for
Google
more
him
to
in the
walk through.
future, they
Yeah,
will find these
hopefully.
stories and
Hopefully, that is
and
the
maybe
hope.
have some pause. All right. Well, I saw a pretty interesting thing today. I just wanted to talk about on the show. You know, for many years, we at News 6, we really pioneered and pushed hard for a texting and driving law that took place in Florida.
Well, you were really leading the charge on that.
I did. I was kind of thrown into it because I was at a stoplight and a texting driver just bashed my head in, destroyed my car. It was a whole crazy situation.
I remember it vividly.
You remember it well. And so I was in the hospital, shirtless with blood everywhere, and it was a crazy time, and it really freaked us out as a family. And so we realized that a part of the problem, part of the reason you see people texting and driving all the time is because Florida's laws were toothless. So we fought really hard. In 2019, they added a law that made it so police, this is revolutionary, could pull you over if you're texting and driving. But the law was still not great. And we kind of knew that at the time. We were hoping, they say with politics, you have to take small bites at the apple before you can just, really sink your teeth in there. So we got them to push this legislation forward, hoping that they would maybe continue to push it and add things. Well, they really haven't. And if you look at the numbers on how often they ticket somebody for texting and driving, they're minimal compared to how much people actually text and drive.
And you see it all the time.
Yeah, you do. You still see it a ton. No one is scared to text and drive in the state of Florida. So there's this guy I met along the way who helped push this even much more than I did. His name was His name was Demetrius Branca, and he had a son named Anthony Branca who died. He was on his scooter driving around in Tallahassee, and a texting driver just ran him right over, killed him one day. And it just, as a dad, it just crushed his soul. So today I saw that on USA Today, he did an op-ed writing about how distracted driving is a deadly choice, and so is the inaction of Florida lawmakers.
Yeah, that had to be hard for him to put into words.
But all he does is talk about it. He goes around, last year he went around to just about every county council and chamber of commerce who would listen to him
Anybody who
speak,
would listen,
and spoke to them. It's a very compelling story. And anyway, so he wrote this big op-ed, tons of good numbers. 30 states have already gone hands-free. So there is a hands-free bill in the Florida legislature right now. And if it can get through both chambers and the governor signs it, we could be a hands-free state. It's not a law a lot of people are talking about. It's not a sexy law. It doesn't have a lot of lobbyists taking lawmakers to dinner. And so it takes things like this. So he wrote this op-ed to try to get a little attention on the matter. And hopefully, with a little luck, he'll be able to.
It is a really important story, Matt. And sadly for this dad, he lost a loved one. He lost someone that he really cared about and really, is doing the only thing he knows how to do now is to be a voice for him. And what happened to you was so close to being almost the same thing. And I'm not exaggerating because, your family could be going around from place to place talking about what their dad was like. And every time I think about that, I get misty because I know your family, I know your kids, I know your wife, I know your mom, I know your dad, I know your whole family.
You do know my whole family. That's my car from the time it happened.
And you look at something like that and you see how terrible that crash was. You had a concussion, I remember. You were out of work for a while. Yeah. And so thank God that your story ended differently, but also the bravery of that dad to continue to share and carry on his son's legacy because that's really all he has left.
Yeah, he's on a mission, and I respect what he's doing. So we'll see. We'll cover this if the legislature actually has the gumption to push this forward, make Florida a hands-free
Get gumption,
state.
guys.
Or maybe not. Maybe it doesn't have the power. But a large percentage of Floridians would like to see drivers actually paying attention to the road and not have.
See, it drives my husband crazy when he's like, hang up your phone.
Your husband helped me get that law passed. We both feel that same way.
Tallahassee for a little bit.
Hey, we're going to take a quick break. We've got some interesting stories for you on the other side of it, including would you like the water that you drink and you bathe in to have previously come from someone else's toilet?
Say less.
This is what they're talking about when we come back. Hey, welcome back. Good God, DJ. You're going to get me in so much trouble one of these days. Welcome back.
It's just, we're a family here. We get so comfortable with one another.
We enjoy the breaks as much as we enjoy the actual show
Yeah,
here.
but we enjoy this part more in keeping our jobs.
Yes, exactly. And that's why people need to tell me when we come back. As if the countdown's not enough.
Yeah, well, they're big numbers. He raised his hand. He raised his hand.
He raised his hand. I wasn't paying attention. It's my fault. All right. There's an initiative being pushed across the state right now to where they're hoping to make, and I think it's interesting. So, the water people say we have a water shortage. All right.
Should we ask people if they've had dinner yet? Because if they haven't, they might want to just no.
What time is it right now? 7 o'clock. They're probably eating dinner right now. It's perfect timing for you. Okay. So there's this initiative to save water in the state of Florida, and some places are already doing it. Tampa, one of the spots that's doing this, is they want to take the water straight from the potty and the stuff that is drained all over.
Not straight from.
Everybody's body. It goes through. It's not straight from. You're right. It goes through and it gets processed.
Yes.
Goes through a
lot of processing.
Yeah. They get all the brown stuff out of there. And then they clean it up and then they send it to your house for you to drink and for you to make ice
Pretty
with.
sure there's some other steps in there.
I might be missing one or two steps. But it's called Toilet to Tap. It's a great name. And our community correspondent, Molly Reed, is out at a community in Volusia County. And they are like, we don't even want to discuss this. I don't want this to ever be a possibility. So let's head it off at the pass. Here's Molly.
Daytona resident Greg Gimbert started this petition. He refuses to let his family drink treated sewage water. He says it's too risky to trust that it's safe. County Council Chair Jeff Brower agrees, calling toilet to tap a dangerous solution that other Florida cities are turning to.
It shouldn't be allowed to happen. Development needs to keep up with what the land can sustain.
Now, the County Council decided at its meeting here Tuesday to go ahead and have county staff draft a charter amendment and ordinance to put on the ballot potentially this year, but the decision was met with some questions from people wondering if this was jumping the gun a little bit on something not happening yet. Some residents said while they agree with not drinking treated sewage water, this doesn't solve the bigger problem at hand. The conservation group Dream Green Volusia wrote to me that while no one wants to drink treated wastewater, a crisis water management plan still needs to be addressed, and a ban doesn't solve the water shortage. If this does go to ballot, it'll be ultimately up to unincorporated Volusia County residents to vote. I'm told that this should be brought up again at the County Council meeting on March 3rd, where the council could decide to go ahead and put it on the ballot or not. I'm your Volusia County Community Correspondent Molly Reed, News 6.
Okay, so the problem with this is we do have a real issue. The guy who covers the environment for us, his name is Paul Giorgio. He's one of my favorite people in the whole building. He was just talking to us.
That's the future, he said.
He says, look, you want a drink? You want a shower?
You thirsty?
This is what's going to happen because we are tapping out our aquifer. Maybe in the future, they'll find a way to get down even farther. There could be some more water down there. You know, there's possible. I've read some articles about how they could find water deeper down into the crust of the earth.
Wow, you're being hopeful. You're usually not hopeful.
No,
that sounded
well,
very
I'm hopeful because I don't want to be drinking your potty water.
I listen. I love farm to table. I'm not a big fan of toilet to tap. Let's just say, go on the record in saying that. But you know, we think of water as an endless supply.
Especially in Florida where it's surrounding us. There are lakes everywhere.
I worried the other night when it was super cold and we had our taps running and my husband ran it and I was like, that's a little too hard to run that way. Let's just tap it back a little bit. I mean, I know
that's good to know that your husband can't even run the tap enough for you.
I didn't say he can't.
That's how critical. I hope you caught that at home.
It was too open, so I just go through all the faucets.
So you went through and fixed.
I didn't fix it. I just... Let's move on to the next story. It is also involving water and something that you find in water.
Okay.
Matt, trying to cause trouble in my happy home. You never know what's going to be lurking. We all love spending time at the beach and going out and whatever. But what if you saw something? DJ, do we have the video that we can call up right now? Because it looked like an animation.
Yeah, it looks fake, but apparently you're telling me this is real video.
This is apparently real. This is a team of researchers documenting the deep sea off the coast of Argentina captured rare footage of a jellyfish that can grow as long as a school bus. Take that in for a second. Now, these have been found all over the world, but the sightings have only come about once a year. The top of these can grow up to 1 meter in diameter with the arms, the tentacles, if you will. They can grow to be 33 feet long. Now, this beast, thankfully, isn't likely to wash up on shore because they found this thing like 820 feet deep into the water. So it likes deep, deep water.
Let me ask the question. Everybody's wanting to look at that little fish floating by there.
Go, buddy.
Dangerous.
Buddy, get out of there.
Well, okay, jellyfish usually sting. Could this thing sting us?
You're going to get more than a sting if this is stinging. Did you hear the 33 feet long, the tentacles?
Does it eat people? Is that what you're telling me right now?
I don't know what it eats, and I don't want to find out. That little fish is probably going to find out really soon. But when you look at this, it's beautiful to watch.
It is. I could watch it all day.
Honestly, looks like an animation, but this is real video, and we're so happy that these guys are studying this and figuring out, like, where did this thing come from? But they also found 28 new species, including worms, corals, sea urchins, and sea snails.
Well, I'm glad they didn't send us video of the worms. This is way cooler.
This thing is amazing.
This is the good stuff. All right, nice job by those researchers. And I want to know what kind of camera they're using because it looks
isn't it clear?
Incredible.
Yeah, it really is.
All right, we're going to take one more quick break, and it's the best thing we have for you today, I think.
Oh, my gosh.
AI comes for News 6, your favorite news channel.
Don't come for us, AI.
And then got millions and millions of views. On the other side of this break, you're going to see our buddy DJ delivering you this.
We got to talk about this alligator video that's popping up on everybody's Facebook feed. It has more than 12 million views, and for good reason. It's wild. It shows an alligator grabbing a snack while walking through a grocery store. Also includes a news anchor and a reporter from News 6. Wait, what? That's our Mike, but that's not our reporter. We don't have a Jake Thomas. And then when you start to take a closer look at some of this video, you'll realize things seem off. That's because this video was generated by AI. But despite this video being shared by a Facebook account that clearly states its videos are made with AI, this video was shared tens of thousands of times and fooled a lot of people. Look at some of these comments. Stephanie said, maybe I'm too Florida, but I thought it was cute considering inflation. Just me? He seems chill, just hungry.
It's important to understand, just because it looks like it came from News 6, doesn't mean it actually came from News 6.
Just like that video, which is an AI version of myself that I generated on my phone with an app in just seconds. If you're ever unsure, there are tools that can help, like Google Gemini. Just upload the video and ask, was this generated by AI? This spit out an answer right away for me, stating there are several factors here that suggest this is not a real video. And I promise, if there's ever actually a giant gator just walking through a grocery store grabbing snacks, we'll be there to cover it for you.
All right.
Or will Jake Thomas be there covering it?
Jake Thomas.
Isn't that
crazy?
Fake reporter. Who is that
fake
guy?
Reporters. They actually used the News 6
Mike Flag.
and then they got 12 million views. Are you kidding me? We need a piece of that pie.
I mean, where
Yes,
are
me.
these 12 million people for News 6 Tonight? That's what I want to know.
Well, that channel actually, this is it here. So, I mean, they have 150,000 followers, and all they do is crank out AI content. There's a lot. This is unique. There's a lot of people doing this.
What do they post this for on YouTube or X? or
That
what?
was on Facebook. I'm not sure. If they're smart, they have a YouTube channel also, and they're on every platform because this is super simple.
So, okay, I've had my dad send me some videos.
Oh, my gosh.
And I'm like, for the love of heaven,
This
Dad.
isn't real.
Like, this is definitely not real.
But haven't you been fooled too, though?
I mean, I wouldn't know if I were fooled.
No,
I guess.
no, okay.
I'm
But-
still believing
no,
it, I
you're
suppose.
supposed to check. Like, I love, my algorithm is filled with puppies,
Yeah, you have
dogs,
a lot of puppies.
and
yeah.
so there's always some, animal being rescued, and I see it, and I'm like, okay, I question it, and then I look at it, and I'm like, this isn't real.
Yeah.
A polar bear is not going to really walk up to you and let you pet
But you
it.
write it. Yeah.
Well,
It's not real.
it's because of how simple it has become, and we can briefly brought this up during the break. That video I included in there myself. That was an AI version of myself. All that took was me going into an app. I basically recorded a video of myself. I said a few words. And then I said, I want to create a vlog style video. And I told it the exact script. I said typed in the words I wanted it to say. And it took probably a minute or 2 minutes. It generated that video. So
You didn't say any of those words.
I never spoke those words.
It looked just like you. It
right.
sounded different. If
The
you know
audio was a
you.
little weird.
Yeah.
But I never spoke those words. It put those words in my mouth.
Yeah, but people who don't know you and listen to that sort of thing, they're not going to know that.
Right.
It's like, oh, something's off about DJ's voice. They're
No
not gonna,
idea.
The
Okay,
thing
so
that
this-
makes me worried
I
is
was
that
gonna- yep.
that was playful, that was funny. But what if it's something they take our face, put it on something that's not our body, and it's not nice?
Have us saying words
Or doing
that
things.
are inappropriate.
Doing things, yeah.
Yeah. How does that?
That's
DJ, it's too
terrifying.
easy.
I mean, we should do this. You guys should test this out.
No, please don't.
I don't want to put my
Let's
image.
not give a tutorial.
I'm not giving Sora or whoever this face.
That is what happens.
This is all I have to
That's
feed
it.
my children.
There are people like famous celebrities. If you go on there, like Jake Paul is one of the people. You can pick Jake Paul and put him into any video you want.
Who would
That's
want to do that?
Didn't Disney just sign that big deal with OpenAI to start
Oh,
putting
that's right, yeah.
some of their
So
characters
now they
in
don't
there,
have
so-
to hire actors.
That's crazy.
Right.
Well, all right.
Thanks for the
This was a
example.
great conversation. Thank you, DJ. Thank you for watching tonight.
I'm terrified. Have a good night.
I'm Matt. Have a great